it was pretty remarkable. There was over 200 hours difference in the two machines really doing the same work. And that translates in today the cost of the equipment, the cost of the labor, and then of course interest cost. Don't forget the finance cost that's increased significantly. That cost can range anywhere from $100 to $120 or $30 an hour.
Yeah. Yeah, that's really a good point. I mean, just in general, any asset, particularly an expensive one like farm machinery, aircraft, whatever, if it's not in motion, I mean, it's costing you, like you said, the downtime. I mean, 40% is high. Were there any other, like, super surprising things about the data when you guys started to take a closer look?
This is the neat thing about it. As the guys started in this, they started to look at a lot of different factors. They begin to look at things like, I mentioned load times, boom width, swath width, size of the fields. I mean, they just kind of went through this whole sort of graphic of and how much influence each one of those factors had. So from there, you kind of work to continuous improvement. And we've done a couple of things, and you're right. This can translate into other equipment. It can translate in maybe some insights we can begin to help give our producers with their equipment as well. But we started with our own. But a couple of things we did to sort of drive this initiative. One is we created a competition within the company. And, it's amazing when you start what you measure, people will, they will do. And we have sort of set up a competition amongst our applicators in order for two things. One is sort of the best, and that's best. And we started with the idle time, and then we moved to, what we should be looking at is how many acres applied per hour.
Yeah.
A machine.
Yeah.
So that's the optic. So we look and we use applicator teams, but the two things we look for is who has the best score and then who has the most improved score. And we've moved, I know this doesn't sound like a huge improvement, but we've moved from like 42% idle time down to like 36%. Our goal is in across our fleet that translated into a $700,000 improvement.
That's
across the company.
Significant.
So they were real dollars. And the benefit, and I know there's a lot said about ag technology and how do we justify some of the things we do. Well, this was just a discovery in the business as we sort of integrated the team, and it's insight that they come up with that say, hey, we think we can improve the efficiency of our application fleet, and they did.
Well, seeing the improvements and the insights that you've been able to garner from your application fleet, as you said, was there anything like, wow, this is great. We're going to look across our operations, our business. What other areas can we kind of think this way? Any examples there?
I mean, this team's now they're brainstorming, and one of the things that they are pretty excited about is how do we carry what we've learned here over to the producer, kind of the customer side? Because
absolutely,
across our business, we're pretty heavy in the dry application business. A lot of but across the South, much more and it has to do with the crop mix probably more than anything else. But across the South, the farmers own more of the spray application equipment. So they're pretty excited about taking some of those insights, taking them to the grower. And, it changes the conversation because right now our growers are, they're feeling the pressure.
Right.
So a lot of times they want to start the conversation around not how can you improve my output, how can you save me some money? And they're both important, right. But that helps our guys to have a little confidence in how I can actually respond to that now. Yeah. And I've got some tools to work with.
So how was it received by your team? Like you said, you started a little competition, and What did that look like?
Yeah, so the ag tech team was pretty excited. The applicators at first, I think it was eye opening for them. But then when they had to start thinking about well, let's face it, it's hot in the South, humidity's high. The first thing these guys start, well, I'm not turning that machine. When it's when it's 95 in the shade and the humidity's 85, I'm going to run that air. But there was a little of that in the beginning. But I think when they started to see the real numbers, and then we turned it to a bit of a competition, a lot of the guys engaged.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, any final thoughts before I let you go? I know it's getting kind of toasty by the fire.
Yeah,
so
I mean, I would say this. One of the real learnings for me was we have a tendency sometimes to maybe have it, and I've heard some other speakers talk about this, separation between sales, separation between operations, and our technology. And really that the more we can integrate and let those guys, use their expertise, and they've really helped us, not just with insights, but actually they have the expertise to be pretty good at writing, sort of standard operating procedures, and that's been a real learning for me, and I think it's helped the business kind of invite them in, and be a part of the team.
It's great. That's a great story. Nice story, Joey. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it.
I enjoyed it.